And we've got GDA Ripper. Don Muraco's top 5 best workers he's ever watched on TV or live, etc. So if you can come up with 5 great wrestlers that you admired and saw on TV.
Well, they're all good now. Everybody keeps talking about Mount Rushmore. That's in the States here, with the president's heads on it and stuff.
South Dakota, I know.
Yeah, there you go. The history lesson, geography lesson. But I think you have you have to go through eras. Through eras of wrestlers. I mean, you go. You just start even before, but you just go with Bruno, Gagne, Dory Funk Jr. and another, those two, but you'd have to go to another era, to another time, like The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, and maybe Shawn Michaels, and I think every era's got their own Mount Rushmore of superstars. My favorite back in the day was Ray Stevens and Dory Funk Jr. They were people the two guys I like to watch. Funk for his simplicity, is the way he could build a match, the way the foundation, how he'd start off. Because a lot of places he went, he was a babyface. He was the world champion, NWA. And he'd go into a lot of places with the NWA title, and he'd be wrestling the top babyface in the territory. So you can't go up and guzzle the guy. You can't. He'd stop, or your top heel. That may not be a smash mouth. Kick him in the teeth heel. He might be more of a wrestling heel or something. But Dory would start that match off in a wrestling manner and just build it and build it and build it. It was it was interesting, entertaining to watch. And then Ray was in Dory was in the business all his life as well. But Ray just seemed like he went out there and he knew what to do. Things just came to him. And if you're working with Ray, your timing and stuff was, you had to time yourself to his movement and stuff. And if you didn't, if you sold long enough, if you took your time and everything else, you'd have a great match with Ray as well. So both the two of those guys. And then, there are so many good workers down the road. The Briscoes and Bob Roop and, oh my God. And you look at guys that put into different categories. Joe LeDuc was a lumberjack. Well, he's not going to be drop kicking, doing all, a series of high spots and stuff. And other guys, are different types of, wrestling's a hard business to categorize different fans. So there was a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, then I'll ask a slightly different question. Before you got into wrestling, into the business, who was your absolute favorite wrestler?
Johnny Baran. Nick Bockwinkel. I took Nick surfing in Macau because Tally Ho had a house he lived out in Macau. I'd been out surfing with Nick and stuff before. That's why I was so perplexed why, he was on my ass so much. I never understood, until later, till I had the same problem myself that, I understood why, he hated me so much. But yeah, Bockwinkel's beautiful, beautiful work in the ring. His timing is, nothing was rushed. Johnny Baran, because Ed Francis, the promoter, had that was the WWF before WWF was even. There was Ed Francis, Dory Funk Sr. from Amarillo, and Eddie Graham. The three promoters, all the way from Hawaii, all the way to Florida, with Texas in the middle. And those guys would do it. Funk Sr., famous for fighting out into the street, stopping traffic, and body slamming some guy in the middle of a sidewalk, middle of a crosswalk, or something, and fighting in the street. Eddie Graham with the stopping of the Malenko's dentures, and all his planning, all those guys, and Ed Francis was just had his TV and stuff, the music and Magnificent Men and their flying machines, and Johnny Brent coming out of coffins and stuff. This is 50 plus years ago, easy, So those, that was ahead of their time. Cyclone Negro was a hell of a heel. I remember he came over for Shires when they had a little war going on, territorial war between Ed Francis and Shires was trying to move in Hawaii. Excuse me. And some of those guys, Negra and Pepper Gomez, But watching, who was I watching? Who did I like to watch? Well, the local guy, Johnny Baran, because he was so colorful, had so many gimmicks, and so he basically it was a magic show, and there was other local workers, Benef Mayava, different guys, around. Jim Haiti was a great one. He passed away real young over in Hawaii, and just a short guy, maybe 5'7", 5'8", from Detroit, but just a super worker. Bastine, some of those guys. But my foundation, I would go back to Junior and Ray, and then there's just a lot of guys, to the south, a lot of guys from Tolis, and a lot of guys from California, a lot of guys. There were a lot of guys in AWA for Vern that were instrumental in getting my attention wrestling.